it is a known fact that a lot of us want to go abroad, either permanently or just to travel there to experience what it's like in other countries. And I think, especially if you're from a developing country, it's, I mean, social media is awash with images and videos of how it is to live in other places. So I'm surrounded by the people who have that desire, and I know we all have that desire. So this video is about people who want to study abroad as a way to experience either living permanently abroad or as a way to just move out of their countries. My name is Soila Kenya from soilakenya.com, where on my blog there I talk about opportunities to travel abroad. I've done that quite a bit in the past almost decade. I realized it's been about 8 years, and I was very intentional about it because that's what I love, traveling. So I was always, and I'm always looking for opportunities to travel. And now that I'm on a bit of a break from that, I thought, why not share a bit of the things I've learned in the past 8 years. So this specific video is if you're looking for scholarships, either for your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD, whatever. A lot of people get to travel as a student, and I have as well. I won the Erasmus Mundus Journalism Scholarship, where I was in Denmark for 1 year and in Prague for my second year. And yeah, that was totally catered for. It was a full ride scholarship. So my upkeep, my rent, my tuition, my travel to and fro, even I got a bit of setup money, like when I first moved, getting a few items for where I was staying. I also got some money towards that. So it was fully catered for. I didn't spend any of my own money. I think only when I was getting my visa, which you kind of are repaid for, because if you don't overspend, you'll still have money remaining from all the money you're given for all the other things. So in my head, it was fully catered for. So I want to share such scholarships that exist, because there are so many. I got the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, but there are tons and tons and tons of them. So I'll just share a few websites on this video where you can also go and find such opportunities. Obviously, I'm in journalism, and there are so many other industries that exist, so I can't speak for each industry, but I can at least share the websites where you can begin your search. Because what happens is, once you start knowing where to find these things, they find you. Like, it's kind of funny, because I think at some point, I think people knew I'm always looking for these things. So at some point, a new thing would come up. 4 people have sent it to me on WhatsApp, like, here I saw this, and it's just the same exact thing. So at some point, you get better at finding these things, and also they'll start finding you somehow. Another thing about looking for these things online is the possibility of scams. So you don't want to, find something, be excited about it, pay what, and then you're like, oh my god, it's a scam. First of all, most of them you don't have to pay to apply, so that's already kind of a bit of a red flag. But of course, some schools you have to pay to send your application. Though usually I advise people to just send an email and see if you can get out of having to pay, but it's very likely to find scams. So that's why I'm also sharing these websites, because I've used them and I know people who've also used them. The other thing you'll notice is that they are all sharing the same opportunities, more or less. Think about it as news. Like, when you turn on one news channel at, I don't know, whatever time you watch news at 9 p.m., and you switch to another news channel, you'll see just the same stories. The president was at this place, he gave a speech. This school did this, or it's almost all the same news, except a few specific things where some news channels have they did a special report on this, and then these other guys did, But like, when there was the World Cup, it was World Cup, and wherever you went, the highlights they were talking about were the all same highlights, because those were the highlights, end of story. So the reason I'm sharing a number of them is because I want to give you options, because I don't use all of them, but I know they exist. So I have my criteria for how I choose the ones I use, which I will share at the end of the video, I think. And that's the only reason I'm sharing many. But you'll find a lot of the times they all have the same stuff. So you don't need to use all of them. You just need to, out of this list, find the ones that work for you. Also, the good thing about these websites is, I think, except one of them, except two of them maybe, they share opportunities for everything. They share opportunities for fellowships, conferences, internships, jobs. So this is all in one. It's just that this video is specifically about scholarships, so that's what I'm focusing on. But most of these, once you get onto them, that's all they share. So you'll find that even for other things that you're looking for in terms of other opportunities, they'll still be the ones that you'll use. Okay, yeah, that's my very long-ish intro. Let me get into it. So I will be sharing how many opportunity websites? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll be sharing 7 websites, and out of those, I guarantee you, if you are being serious about this, you'll find even one. One is fine, even if one is the one that works for you, especially those ones that share opportunities from everywhere. One that you're able to just keep updated with, and you'll be seeing all the opportunities that are shared on there. So the first one I'm going to share is Opportunity Desk. I think it's one of the best. I always see it being mentioned all the time. Opportunity Desk is one of the ones that has opportunities opportunities of all types. So they have conferences, scholarships, competitions, that's another one, competitions and awards, grants, fellowships, jobs. Yes, jobs include like even internships and volunteering. And what you'll find is this website, along with a lot of the other ones, they have ways for you to filter. So if you're an African, you can filter opportunities that are for Africans, if that makes sense. I think, but I'm not sure that they have a way to filter. Like, you want to specifically go to Australia. I don't know if they're able to do that. But once you scroll to the end of the page, you'll be able to see how to filter all those opportunities. So anyway, for our purposes, we're interested in scholarships. So under scholarships, they have undergraduate opportunities, short courses, online courses, masters and postgraduate, PhD, postdoctoral, and then they have this category called study abroad, where they have now what I was talking about: study in Africa, study in Asia, study in Australia, study in Europe, study in USA. So some people come into this knowing from the get-go that they want to study in the USA. So you just go directly there. So that's Opportunity Desk. They are on social media, so that's usually another thing. Find these things on social media, because wherever you're active, you'll always be seeing their posts, and that's how you can keep track of just all the opportunities. So one way to do it is follow a couple of them on social media, and so your feed will start being filled with some of these things, and that's how you might see your opportunities, rather than you necessarily going onto their website, because you'll never remember to do that. The next one is Youth Opportunities. It's youthop.com, and they also have that categorization by of different things, so competitions and conferences and all that. But for our purposes, they have the scholarship section. They always do have a scholarship section. And you have filters, so you're able to filter by region as well, by country or by region, like, Africa, Europe. You're also able to feature by funding type. So for example, full scholarship, like the one I got, or fully funded, or partial scholarship, or partially funded. And then you're also able to filter by deadline, which is a big deal, because you can see something and be excited about it and realize the deadline passed 2 weeks ago. So you're also able to filter by deadline. So that's another good one. Then we also have Opportunities for Africans. That's opportunitiesforafricans.com. That one is really good because we're Africans, so just go directly there. And you don't need to filter. Already all the opportunities that are shared there for Africans. I guess now maybe the frustration comes in if the opportunity is just for specific countries, but at least you already know you're closer to what you wanted. I think you are able to search on there as well according to the different countries. Like if I'm Kenyan, so if I'm looking for Kenyan opportunities that are for Kenyans, I'm also able to filter that way. Then there is opportunitiesforyouth.org, almost the same thing. They have the different categories like fellowships and conferences and whatnot. And then they have the scholarship section specifically. So again, a lot of these things are the same format. So once you understand one of them, you understand them all. So I haven't really used this one much, but I've heard about it. I've seen it being used. So yeah, that's another one you can use. Then there is scholarshipportal.com. That's scholarship portal. So there's a double P somewhere in there. And this is now just for scholarship. So this one is really good. I've not used it, but I've had it being talked about, and I've seen like legit scholarships on there. Because once you know that, you know, scholarships are annual, so each year they are there. Like the same scholarship is gonna be available next year. So you start seeing the same things over and over, especially if you're in your particular industry. So this one is really good because they have they are able to filter as per usual. They're able to filter by if you want to go to the US, if you want to go to Australia. But then they also have other portals that are specific for the level of education. So they have a master portal, bachelor portal, PhD portal, short courses portal, and distance learning portal. So you're able to just go to those portals. Like I was looking to study my master's, so I would have just gone to the master's portal, and the only opportunities on there are for doing your master's. So then I guess you're now able to search by industry or by, you know, subject. So this is also another good one. And I guess it's very focused on scholarships. So it's just scholarships. So if that's what you're looking for, this is one of them that is just on that. Then another thing I wanted to mention is going to the website of your Ministry of Education. So in Kenya, for example, education.go.ke has actually a page for scholarships, like scholarships in other countries. So in, at least currently, as the website currently is designed, on their menu they have the third menu item is services, and then under there there's the second thing is scholarships. So when you go on the scholarships page right now, okay, no, they are like, it's in a way that they just show a number per page and then you have to go to the next page. But right now I'm just seeing two that are for 2023-2024 selection. And they have the scholarship from Belgium and one that's in Luxembourg. So any people don't check the education website for anything, the Ministry of Education website for anything. The Kenyan one is really, I don't know if they redesigned, it looks a bit better, but it's usually not that well designed anyway, so it's like I don't even want to go on there. But I think they've done a redesign because it used to be quite tragic. Anyway, they have scholarships on there, guys, especially if you're a research fellow. I know I always see research fellowships and research grants and scholarships, but of course they have a lot of other things. So that is also a place, I mean, at least go and tell people the next time you know how the education website looks like. It's a bit of a bonus. Of course, I have never used it, but I've known, and my mom is in science, so I think that's why I know about it, because she's always on those grants and those research things. And as I said, it's quite a good resource for that. So if you're in STEM, think about it. If you're looking to go to a lab in Germany for, I don't know, 2 months to do something, there's a lot of these things. So they have a scholarship portal as well. Then I'm going to end with one for journalists, because I'm a journalist. It's called International Journalists Network, or ijnet.org. I think if you're a journalist, you already know, but you never know, so I'm gonna mention it. And this is more for just opportunities, like just for story grants and things. But they do sometimes have the scholarships that are for journalism studies. So that might also be a good resource if you're a journalist. In terms of the people you need to be watching, or the websites and social media you need to be watching, IJNet should be one of them, because they do have these opportunities as well. So one thing I said I would end with is to mention like how I keep up with it and how I choose. So how I choose is I choose by which one I'm most which social media I'm most active on, and who out of these are active on that social media. So for me, it's Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter than I am on anything else. So out of these websites, who are the ones who are active on Twitter? I can tell you for sure Opportunity Desk is very active. I know all the rest are probably, but Opportunity Desk is always on my timeline. I don't know, I follow all of them, so but I don't see all of them. I usually see Opportunity Desk and IJNet. They're always on my timeline. So find out which where these people are active. That's the way you always keep, because you'll never keep going to our website. Let's be serious. Like maybe now that this is January, because I'm making this video in January. Now that it's January, you are all about your New Year's resolutions and whatnot, so you'll be there. But by even February, you'll be not. That'll be it. Not even June, even Feb, you'll be done. So just just find them on social media. If you're very active on Instagram, who is active, follow all of them there. Then you'll see the ones who keep showing up on your TL, and you're like, oh my god, this thing, and you'll see it immediately. So you'll have time to apply, because of course these things have deadlines. So that's a hack. That's how I keep up with it, because I'm never, as you could see, I kept looking down because I was looking at the websites to see how the websites look, because I'm never on the website. I'm always on their social media. You can also subscribe to their newsletters. A lot of them have newsletters where they just do a roundup of the week or of the month or of whatever, and they show these are the active. Kwanzaa, that one is the best because they only show the active ones, the ones that the deadlines have not yet passed. So these are the active ones. There you go, each week or each whatever. That's another way to keep up with it. If you're the person who opens newsletters, that's another way. So just find what works for you. Find the ones that work for you. I'm not saying use all of them, because as I said, one, they kind of all have a bit of the same things, because it's just the same people offering scholarships. So they all have more or less the same things. Two, find the one that works for you. If it's just one, if it's just Opportunity Desk and that's it, and you're never able to find these other people, it's fine. Opportunity Desk has a lot of the opportunities that exist. Another thing maybe you can also pay attention to is the ones that you tend to see have a lot of opportunities in your industry. So IJNet is there for journalists, for example, but there might be others for other sectors. Also, maybe just one of these general ones, you see they keep posting a lot of science and STEM related things for some reason, then stick there, because that is your industry. So just you'll start finding out the ones that work for you. So those are the 3 ways I find my way to the specific ones I want to pay attention to. And that's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. My website is soilakenya.com. I also do consultancy on, once you've started being serious with your life and you're now applying, I do consultancy, one-on-one consultancy on actually applying and writing those essays and the CV and those things, because I have a lot of experience. I've gone for conferences, fellowships, a lot of things abroad, and I think I've learned a few things on how to actually structure and word your application materials. So if you want help with that, that's a service I have. Just get onto my website, soilakenya.com, and you'll find me there and we can chat. But if not, I'm going to continue making these videos, and I also have a blog. I've had the blog for 2 years, so you can head there right now. All the links will be in the description, including for the scholarship portals. And yeah, let's interact. Find me on social media. As I said, I'm mostly active on Twitter. So I'm sorry to everyone else, but I'm mostly active on Twitter. Also, my email address is available on my website if you just want to talk to me directly. But yeah, it's been great. I hope you start applying for things. Please, even if it's not January when you're watching this, just start applying. Don't wait for January to do New Year's resolutions. Start applying. And for scholarships, I said they are there every year. So if you've seen one this year that the deadline has passed, all is not lost. Just wait for it next year, because sometimes you find something that's so perfect for you, but the deadline passed. Imagine it's just gonna be there forever. So put it in your calendar. Instead of putting on your calendar, I want to be married by May 23rd, 2023, please put there, apply for this scholarship, because you know that that's around the time it comes, because they always come around the same time and close the same time. Please focus. All right, I've talked a lot. Okay, bye. See you on my website, on my blog, and on social media.